screen. We're talking about what's happening in your hometown. This is Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
And good morning. Welcome to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, your store for floors, and so much more. The month of January is almost over, but it's not too late to get a new upgrade and a new look for the new year for your home, whether it's flooring, countertops, and cabinets, or it's time to upgrade that bathroom with a new shower or tub. The team at Professional Floor Covering has got you covered. Of course, when it comes time to put in new cabinets, Professional Floor Covering is the place to be. When you put those new cabinets in, you want them to not only look beautiful, but you want them to be the right fit for your project, and you want them to last for years to come. And at Professional Floor Covering, they have partnered with some of the top brands to be able to offer you unrivaled quality and craftsmanship, from traditional to modern cabinets and everything in between. Their cabinetry team is there to help you out and get your perfect dream kitchen. Professional Floor Covering, 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam, online at PROFLR.com. Coming up tonight here on 95.3 WBEV, we've got Badger men's basketball. As the Badgers travel out to Maryland, we'll have the pregame coverage for you at 5 o'clock tonight following an early barn show. So barn show at 4 today, Badger men's basketball at 5 o'clock. And then we've got more high school sports lined up for you coming up tomorrow night. We had 3 different events last night, and we're going to do it again tomorrow night. We start on the ice with the Beaver Dam girls hockey team as they host Rock County. That's a 6:45 pregame over on Daily Dodge TV. Beaver Dam girls basketball team on the road at Brookfield Central. That is a 7 o'clock coverage over on our sister station, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. And the Beaver Dam boys basketball team at home hosting Fort Atkinson. That is also a 7 o'clock pregame over on Daily Dodge TV. Big thank you to Katie Hahn-Schmidt, who joined us on the program yesterday to talk a little bit about Emily's Closet, that's going to be kicking off their dress donation collection next week, February 3rd. They're going to start that. You'll be able to donate your new or gently used prom dresses and apparel at Matera, Wisconsin, over on Bickel Avenue, Mondays through Fridays, 8 to 4:30. Prairie View Elementary School, Monday through Friday, 7:45 to 4 p.m. Beaver Dam Middle School, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Over at the Beaver Dam High School, Mondays through Fridays, 7:45 to 3:15. And then year-round, you can also donate at Pine Hill Insurance on DeClark Street, Mondays through Fridays, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So, again, the collection starts next Monday. If you've got a prom dress, new or gently used, this is a great program that they've put together in memory of Emily Lyons. And they'll then resell these dresses at a discounted price, and then all the funds go to the Emily C. Lyons scholarship that is given out at Beaver Dam High School each year. So you can learn more about that if you listen back to yesterday's Hometown Today show over on DailyDodge.com. And don't forget, coming up this Saturday, Cabin Fever Bingo at Dodgeland High School. It's going to be doors open at noon. Games begin at 2. This is hosted by the Dodgeland FFA alumni and supporters. They've got $2,500 in prizes they're going to be giving away, plus 50-50 raffle, basket raffles, and concessions available as well. All the proceeds will benefit the Dodgeland alumni grant scholarships and ag opportunities, so don't miss that. When we come back, we're going to get to chat with some folks from the Horicon Phoenix program about a great upcoming show. That is coming up on Hometown Today from 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
The Equine Foundation on Facebook.
Hey, this is Randy from Professional Floor Covering, welcoming you back to Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Dam. Well, excited to have our first guest on the show today, and we get to talk a great upcoming show here in about a week and a half or so. Coming to the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater as part of their Fire and Ice series, presented by the HorrorCon Phoenix program. The WhiskeyBelles take the BDACT stage next Saturday, February 8th. Tickets available at bdact.org. And joining us here in the Daily Dodge TV studios this morning, we have a couple of members of the HorrorCon Phoenix program. We have Executive Director Christine Schmitz and new President Tasha Wiestoff. Thanks so much for coming in this morning, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Great to have you. And we're going to get into a little bit later in the show. We'll get into a little bit about the Phoenix HorrorCon Phoenix program, what it's all about, what you do. But we're going to jump right into it this morning because we're really excited for this show. And we have joining us on the phone a couple of members of the WhiskeyBelles. We have Sarah Moylanen and Kimberly Hansen. Good morning, ladies. Oh, we got one.
Oh, hi. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Fantastic.
Oh, they're both here.
Now we got both of them. So we've got Sarah and Kimberly. How are you ladies this morning?
Doing great. How are you?
We are doing fantastic. We've got Christine and Tasha with the HorrorCon Phoenix program with us here in the Daily Dodge TV studio, and we're excited to have you guys join us on the phone and talk a little bit about the WhiskeyBelles, a little bit about a little background on the group.
Well, we are a traditional country and Americana kind of slash bluegrass trio. Three ladies. We do three-part harmonies. We're all strong singers, so that's a lot of fun. And then we have bass, guitar, and fiddle. Kimmy's our fiddle player. Kimmy, if you have anything to add.
No, I think you covered it.
And, of course, we've got Sarah and Kimberly on the phone, but you are a three-member group. And tell us about your other member that wasn't able to join this morning.
Well, she's a very busy lady. She has 3-year-old twins right now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
that will keep you busy very, very easily. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. But she's our guitar player and songwriter and just a beautiful human being and lots of fun.
Well, Sarah and Kimberly, tell us a little bit about each of your musical backgrounds. Sarah, we can start with you.
Sure. Well, I've been singing since I could talk. And I learned guitar kind of later on in life, I didn't start as a kid anyway, around 19 years old. And then, I don't know, I actually learned to play bass to be in the WhiskeyBelles because they needed a bass player. And it's just, gone from there. So I've played in other bands and, around the Milwaukee music scene we've been together now 15 years. So.
Oh, wow.
I know, crazy, right?
Kimberly, how about you? What's a little bit of your musical background?
Excuse me. My family was always musical, always singing. Holidays or sitting out in the basement singing along to radio songs. But I started playing violin in 1984. It's a long time ago, and classically trained. But this doing improv and writing songs, it's such a great and rewarding thing, and I'm so blessed to get to do it with these awesome ladies.
Again, the WhiskeyBelles taking the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater stage as part of the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater Fire and Ice Concert Series presented by the HorrorCon Phoenix program. And talk a little bit about the type of music you play. What can people kind of expect when it comes to that?
Well, we do quite a variety. Everything from, Hank Williams to Beyonce.
That's kind of the definition of variety right there.
Yeah. We call it, when we take a song, we call it WhiskeyBellifying it. We take it and kind of make it our own. We usually add harmonies where there aren't any, and yeah, we just have a lot of fun as a trio.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the artists that you cover?
Sure. We do Dolly Parton, Emmylou Harris. We've got some Linda Ronstadt. We've got some Hank Williams. Sarah said Beyonce. We do a really fun version of Single Ladies.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Dixie Chicks, you name it. Or the Chicks. I'm sorry, it's not the Dixie Chicks anymore.
Yeah, now they're the Chicks, I guess. Yep, I know. We have to remember that. Again, we're talking with Sarah Moylanen and Kimberly Hansen with the WhiskeyBelles coming to Beaver Dam Area Community Theater on Saturday, February 8th. Tickets available at BDACT.org. We're going to be back with more and chat a little bit more with Sarah and Kimberly, and we'll also get a chance to learn a little bit more about the HorrorCon Phoenix program as well when we come back here on Hometown Today from 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Super Bowl 59 is on Westwood One.
The Philadelphia Eagles are headed to New Orleans.
Now the Chiefs are on the doorstep of history, going for a third consecutive Super Bowl.
Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Grant. Join Kevin Harlan, Kurt Warner, Laura Oakman, Gene Steratore, Devin McCourty, and me for all the action right here.
Coverage begins at 1 o'clock February 9th on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
Hey, this
sure you don't miss what's happening in your hometown. It's Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings. We are visiting with some of the folks involved in the upcoming WhiskeyBelles show at Beaver Dam Area Community Theater Saturday, February 8th. Tickets available at BDACT.org. We have with us here in the Daily Dodge TV studios the HorrorCon Phoenix Program Executive Director Christine Schmitz, as well as President Tasha Wiestoff. And joining us on the phone, we have two of the members of the WhiskeyBelles, Sarah and Kimberly. And we were talking a little bit before the break about some of the music you cover, but you guys also do some original music. Talk about how you come up with some of your original music.
Well, isn't that always the trick to try and figure out how to write a song?
Yeah, I would never know where to start.
Well, I'm still trying to figure that out.
You know, they're kind of like little magical beings. They just I feel like sometimes they just sort of happen, and other times you work really hard at them. But yeah, it's fun to try and take your life experience and put it into song. So.
Can you talk about some of your original pieces and where you drew some of the inspiration from?
Well, some of it's drinking.
Fair enough. We are in Wisconsin after all.
Some of it's just having a good time, and some of it's, really heartbreaking things. It just depends on it's life. It's emotions, and it's, people's experiences. So,
and coming up with these songs and contributing to them, honestly, is our form of therapy. There's a reason none of us have to go to therapy. We are each other's therapists.
Yeah, exactly. That's music is a great form of therapy, so especially songwriting. So there you go. That sounds perfectly fair to me. Speaking of some of the music, covers, original music, a mix of both. This is always a tough one to answer, because it's like musicians are always like, why would you ask me that? I don't ask you who your favorite child is. But do you guys have a favorite song, whether it's a cover or original, that maybe is not your favorite, but maybe sticks out a little more or has a bit more of a special connection for you?
I think there's two of them, in my opinion. Number one is Jolene. It's a cover that we've actually kind of arranged in our own style, obviously by Dolly Parton. And that's kind of one of those songs where we have to play it every show, because if we didn't, someone might be waiting in a dark alley for us. And the other, I think, is we do a cover. And again, when I say cover, these are our own arrangements. You're not going to find us, doing a carbon copy of a song because of our instrumentation. It's impossible, really. But All Along the Watchtower, and we kind of blend a lot of different artists. Dave Matthews has a cover of that, Jimi Hendrix, obviously, Bob Dylan, but we have our own take on it, and whenever we do it, people kind of lose their minds. So that's one of my favorites to play. Sarah, any comments?
Well, off the top of my head, I'm a huge Roy Orbison fan, and we do the song Blue Bayou, and that just has a lot of memories for me, growing up and just listening to that kind of music. So,
what about you both kind of touched on this a little bit just now, but do each of you have some favorite musical artists that are really near and dear to you, or musical influences that you draw from?
I mean, I think any musician would have those that, we all have our things that we like, and it's interesting because as closely as we've worked together over 15 years, we all have very different musical tastes. For me, I'm a huge Dave Matthews fan, Zach Brown, Indigo Girls, pretty much anything with harmonies. It has found a special place in my heart.
I think that our musical tastes do overlap somewhat, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to agree on songs to play. but I'm a huge Roy Orbison fan. I'm really into John Prine. I don't know. I can't think of anything else, but.
Chatting with Sarah and Kimberly, two of the three members of the WhiskeyBelles, hitting Beaver Dam Area Community Theater next Saturday, February 8th. Tickets available at BDACT.org. This is part of the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater Fire and Ice Concert Series presented by the HorrorCon Phoenix program. And I think you mentioned you've been together playing for about, I think you said about 15 years or so. You've obviously played quite a few shows together. Have you had any favorite venues that stick out in your memory that you've played?
Oh, I think when we opened for the Violent Femmes in Green Bay at the Meyer Theater, that was a really great one.
And the Sylvie was awesome, too.
Yeah, the Sylvie.
That is a really cool
Madison.
venue, the Sylvie. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Again, Sarah and Kimberly, two of the three members of the WhiskeyBelles. And we do have Christine and Tasha with us here in the Daily Dodge TV studio. You guys are with the HorrorCon Phoenix program, helping to coordinate the show. And I should ask if the two of you have any questions for Sarah and Kimberly.
Well, I'm excited that we got a little sneak preview into the playlist for Saturday, ladies. It's going to be so much fun. And we love that you girls love to giggle and have a good time, and we're the same. So, yeah, we're definitely going to have a great time at the theater on the 8th.
I was going to say, I think already in this show, we've set a new record for the giggle count. So I know
between all the four of
show.
us, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, Sarah and Kimberly, where can folks find you, check you out before they come out to see the show at Beaver Dam Area Community Theater?
I think that's our next show, actually.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But obviously, you can find us online. We've got all of our songs are on Apple Music and Spotify and all of the things, Pandora.
And you can go to WhiskeyBelles.com and find our schedule, and you can stream our music from there as well.
And WhiskeyBelles, all one word, WhiskeyBelles is the spelling on that if you're looking for them online. And definitely recommend checking out their music. And I know you guys have music and videos available on your website and all that good stuff. Anything else that we missed that we need to talk about with the WhiskeyBelles?
I'd like to just point out that a lot of people, for whatever reason, and they have their reasons, have a really negative connotation with country music. I think we kind of also fit into that realm for quite a long time, but we kind of blend a lot of different genres, and we often get, hey, I don't really like country music, but I really like what you guys do. So if people are, a little leery about going to a country show, it's not country. It's Americana. You got a little bit of everything. So you will not be disappointed. And I will say that. I will guarantee that as a personal.
I like it. We're gonna all hold you to it and hold you accountable on that. Again, Sarah and Kimberly, members of the WhiskeyBelles, coming to Beaver Dam Area Community Theater Saturday, February 8th. Tickets available at BDACT.org. Sarah, Kimberly, thanks so much for taking some time out. I know you guys are busy, so we appreciate the time, and we look forward to the show in about a week and a half.
Can't wait.
Again,
sounds great.
Thank you so much. And again, the WhiskeyBelles coming to Beaver Dam Area Community Theater, part of the BDACT Fire and Ice Concert Series, presented by the HorrorCon Phoenix program. Tickets available at BDACT.org. When we come back, we'll talk with Christine and Tasha and learn a little bit more about the HorrorCon Phoenix program. That's coming up here on Hometown Today from 95.3 WBEV, presented by Professional Floor Covering, also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings.
Hey neighbor, this is Randy, owner of Professional Floor Covering, welcoming you back to Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
And welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam, who invite you to check out their picture framing department. That's right, they can frame almost anything. If you've got something you'd like to preserve in a picture frame, McKinstry's can help. Their professional staff will help you select just the right frame and matting to enhance the beauty of your artwork. They stock a complete selection of picture frame moldings, matting, and glass choices, which ensures professional framing of your needlework, family photos, wedding pictures, canvas pictures, posters, or award certificates. And the best part, you'll be amazed at the low everyday prices. Bring your frameable pieces to McKinstry's Home Furnishings, celebrating 166 years in downtown Beaver Dam. We are back with Christine Schmitz and Tasha Wiestoff with the HorrorCon Phoenix program, who, of course, are proud to present the WhiskeyBelles coming to Beaver Dam Area Community Theater Saturday, February 8th. Tickets available at BDACT. .org. But we did want to talk, and again, our thanks to Sarah and Kimberly from the WhiskeyBelles for joining us on the phone and talking a little bit about the show and what to expect. Going to be a fun one for sure. We can tell just from talking to them. So let's talk a little bit about the HorrorCon Phoenix program for people who don't know. What is the HorrorCon Phoenix program all about, and what is it you guys do?
Sure. So the HorrorCon Phoenix, my name's Christine Schmitz. I'm the executive director of the HorrorCon Phoenix program. We are a not-for-profit based in HorrorCon, but we service all of Dodge County. But we have a baby pantry that we give away free diapers and wipes and supplies that aren't necessarily covered by other programs to families in need. We do a 13-week concert series on from June to August in Kiwanis Park. That's one of our big things, alongside with our farmers market. We do high school scholarships. What else am I missing?
The community garden.
Yep, we have a community gardens where families can rent space in the garden if they don't have a place at their home to, plant their own garden so they can grow their own food.
Multiple little public libraries.
Yep.
Throughout all the parks in HorrorCon.
Yeah, so we kind of sprinkle ourselves around. We're a board of all volunteers. We're all volunteers, and that's a little bit about us. We're going on 18 years this year as an organization.
18 years that it's been around. Just my next question was going to be, how long have you guys been around? Is the HorrorCon Phoenix program, is that an official 501c3 nonprofit?
Absolutely.
And talk a little bit, each of you, about how each of you got involved in the program.
Sure. So I moved to HorrorCon around 2011, and I heard some music in my backyard, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. So I live real close to Disher Park, and I happened to walk down and find a little music festival going on. Got to know who was putting it on and checked them out on Facebook, and saw that they were looking for a treasurer, I think, at the time. So I volunteered because I figured, hey, new to the area, what better way to meet people and get involved than join an organization that seemed to be doing pretty cool things that I enjoyed. So I figured I wanted to be a part of it.
And Tasha, how about you? How long have you been involved, and how did you get started?
Well, this year is my first year as the president. I was just elected president in January. I was a board member, the director of design for the 2 years prior, and then volunteered for a while. Christine actually used to be my boss, and that's how I met her. And then once she got involved with it, and my life kind of slowed down, I started volunteering for her and helping her out. And then a board seat opened up, and here we are.
Yeah.
What for each of you has been kind of your favorite part of the program, or favorite memory that sticks out so far?
Oh, man. Well, we're both huge music fans, so I think the music component of our program has always been our biggest draw, our favorite thing. We go to a ton of shows together anyway, so now we get to check out all these great musicians that are from Wisconsin that write their own music, that play just write their own instrumentation. They're great musicians and lyricists, and we get to meet them and kind of we get to hire bands for the summer, and we've made a lot of good friendships in the Wisconsin music scene, so we're lucky that way. The other thing that I love that we do is the baby pantry. I mean, that's just, it speaks to my heart. I'm always like being of service to the community, and that's a huge thing that I can actually see how it's helping. There's actual tangible results. You meet the families, and they're so thankful, and it's fun to see a family who's maybe struggling at first, and we help them out, and they get back on their feet, and they don't need us anymore, which is always a success story. So
you guys have booked some pretty great bands. Obviously, we got a chance to talk with the WhiskeyBelles. Looking forward to that show. And I remember you had, and I forget their names, but those gentlemen that you had here a year or two ago that were really great. And a number. How on earth do you go about finding these great musical groups?
Well, like Christine said, we go to a lot of music.
Okay.
We enjoy it, and then we just show up to shows, see what we like, and then make friends, or just go up and introduce ourselves and say, hey, we do this, we love your music, can we maybe talk about bringing you in? We don't do that all in the same night, but
sure.
We like to make friends and mingle and chit chat. Her more than I'm kind of like just the silent partner in the background, but it's just showing up to live music.
Yeah, there's
supporting live music.
There's a lot of big music festivals right here in Wisconsin that you can get so many different types of genres of music, like Milo Music in Appleton. That's a huge source of where you can see hundreds of bands in 4 days. We go to a bluegrass festival in River Falls where we kind of pick bands from. But this year we've got a really eclectic lineup. We usually announce it in May, so it's a secret until then.
Okay.
But we are going to announce our season opener. We are going to announce at the WhiskeyBelles show. So that's a little teaser. So if you want to know who's going to open up our concert series this summer in HorrorCon, come to the show and you'll find out. But so we have everything from indie rock to country to bluegrass to we've got bands with a horn section, so we do a little bit of everything, blues and jazz, and so we like to keep it different every week, so you're never seeing the same thing over and over again.
Tasha, how about you? Do you have a favorite part of the HorrorCon Phoenix program? Favorite memory that sticks out?
I think I agree with Christine. I like the music part of it, but I also like the baby pantry is near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
Being a single mom at a young age, I can relate to a lot of the women families that we help, and it's nice to give back.
Yeah. What else should folks know about the HorrorCon Phoenix program?
We're always looking for volunteers. Like I said, we've got, the events at the theater in the winter that we do in conjunction with, the Fire and Ice concert. So we're always looking for bartenders or ushers or, people to help us take care of the artists in the green room or clean up afterwards. That's always a fun one. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we're always looking for help down at the park on Wednesdays in the summer. And at any of our other events, like our board meetings are the second Sunday of every month. In March, they'll start being the second Sunday, and everybody's welcome to come. We have them at 6 p.m. at the Rock River Tap in HorrorCon. So if you've got ideas, or we also support a lot of other people's ideas. If they come to us with an idea and they might not know how to start it or make it come to fruition, we'll support you. We'll give you the right tools. We won't necessarily do it all for you, but we'll definitely back you and help you in any way we can. Someone came to us and wanted to kind of branch out off the Phoenix program and do a Friends of the HorrorCon Parks group. So that's under our umbrella, but Bryce Remy has raised money for playgrounds and new equipment, new naturescapes, such things for the city of HorrorCon. So that kind of was born under our umbrella. So we're always willing to help. Any project someone has that we think aligns with our mission statement, we'd be willing to help.
How else can people help support the Horicon Phoenix program? Is there opportunities to financially support programs?
Of course. So there's always the money element. We have an amazing list of sponsors. We're always looking for new sponsors. With your sponsorship, you're going to get, we put out a Horicon Rising booklet every year that comes out in May, and it's distributed all over Dodge County. So people advertise in our booklet. That's going to have all of our events for the year posted in there. It's going to have all the band bios for the summer, all the information on all the other programs that we do, and you can put your ad in there, and we distribute them. So, and then also you're going to get a banner on on the stage behind a band, and you're going to get recognition. We recognize you on our Facebook. We recognize you verbally at all of our shows. So yeah, you get a lot of bang for your buck if you become a sponsor. And so if you're interested, you can contact us at our email address as info@horiconphoenix.com.
All right, very good. Anything else that we missed before we let you go here today?
Probably talk about the show a little bit more.
Yeah, I was gonna let each of you kind of close out and give your final thoughts on the show and remind folks why they should come check out the WhiskeyBelles.
We've got some fun drink specials for the night.
Oh yeah,
yes,
talk about that.
We have the Sizzlin' 7, which is Fireball whiskey and 7-Up.
Yep.
And then one that is inspired by one of the WhiskeyBelles original songs, Whiskey Women, which is just a whiskey old-fashioned. We'll make it how you like it. And then first time for us, we have a Moon No Shine. So for those that don't drink alcohol, we have a fun little mocktail for you, which is just lemonade with a splash of 7-Up.
Yep. Okay. And then tickets are $20, and we want to pack the theater because we're really excited for these ladies to come to town, and we want to give them a good old Beaver Dam big warm welcome. So, get your tickets.
And like we were talking about, I mean, there's really kind of something for everybody. They do a cover variety of artists from Darius Rucker to Beyonce to you name it, plus that great mix of original music that they've got. And I think if you can't tell from our time with them on the phone, they're obviously a fun bunch and going to be, which makes for a great show. So looking forward to it. Anything else you want to throw out there about the show before we let you go?
Get your tickets.
Get your tickets. Come say hi.
And we will have another one in March. So
And again, added bonus, if you come out to this show, you get the exclusive sneak peek at the season opener for the Horicon Phoenix program. So that's where you got to go if you want to find out. Otherwise, for the rest of it, you got to wait till May. So that is the place to go. Again, the WhiskeyBelles taking the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater stage next Saturday, February 8th. A part of the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater Fire and Ice program presented by the Horicon Phoenix program, and you can get your tickets at BDACT.org. Going to be a great show again. Executive Director Christine Schmitz and President Tasha Wiestoff joining us here on the show. Thanks so much for taking some time with us.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, and thank you to the theater, too, for allowing us to do this. I forgot to mention that the honorarium that we earn for putting on these shows, for putting on the Fire and Ice shows, goes back to our fund, and that's how we pay for some of the music in the summer. That's how it lines up.
Yeah, gotcha. Very good. Again, that show coming to Beaver Dam Area Community Theater Saturday, February 8th. Tickets available at bdact.org. And before you head over to the WhiskeyBelles show on February 8th, make sure you stop over and grab some dinner at Marco's Pizza for the Noel's 18th birthday celebration. It's an all-day pizza party with an angel. All day Saturday, February 8th, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. All purchases all the sales, 20% of sales, Marco's Pizza here in Beaver Dam will be donating to the Noel's Angel Walk Good Comer Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon. If you order online, make sure you use the code NOEL, N-O-E-L. And then if you're ordering by phone or in person, mention the Noel's Angel Walk. And again, 20% of that sale will go to the Noel's Angel Walk, part of the Good Comer Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon. We'll be back with more Hometown Today coming up in just a little bit from 95.3 WBEV. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, your store for floors and so much more. If it's time to upgrade those floors, visit Randy and the team today. They've got you covered with many different types, styles, and brands of flooring, including carpet. Randy always keeps a great selection of carpet in stock, plus a whole lot more that you can get ordered in, plus hardwood, laminate, the popular LVP flooring. They also do tile and stone, and they can do custom area rugs as well. And the team will come out to your home, get everything measured out for free, get you a free quote, and have your floors looking absolutely beautiful. Professional floor covering, 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam, online at PROFLR.com. More Hometown Today coming up next on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Your friends and neighbors, this is Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
And welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, your store for floors and so much more. When it's time to transform your space, they are the team you want to work with, whether it's beautiful new flooring, new countertops or cabinets, or you're upgrading that bathroom with a new shower or tub. They are the team to work with. When you are getting ready to put in new countertops, it's a lot of choices to be made, including your material, your color, the pattern, and it all plays a big role in your overall project. And so you want to work with a good team, and that is exactly what you'll get at Professional Floor Covering. They've got a large selection of quartz, granite, marble, and laminate countertops for you to choose from, so they will help you find the perfect countertop for your design. Professional Floor Covering, 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam, online at proflr.com. Hey, don't forget to check out our 95.3 WBEV Taste of Tuscany trip, taking place October 28th through November 5th, hosted by our very own Wade Bates from the WBEV Morning Show. It's beautiful, beautiful trip to Tuscany with Colette Travel. It's a 7-night hotel stay in Montecatini Terme, the famous resort and spa town. You'll be able to take in all the beautiful landscapes, the region's famous cuisine, fabulous local wines. You'll enjoy a Tuscan cooking class and a whole lot more. And Colette has all the details handled for you, your flights, your meals, your hotels, your experiences. All you got to do is enjoy. It is the trip of a lifetime. If you want to learn more or book your trip, you can call Holly at Memory Making Travel at 262-707-3342. That's 262-707-3342. Or you can visit the Taste of Tuscany page on DailyDodge.com. It's going to be a great trip. You definitely don't want to miss out on that one. Our thanks again to Christine Schmitz and Tasha Wiestoff from the HorrorCon Phoenix program for joining us in our last hour, as well as Sarah and Kimberly from the WhiskeyBelles. The WhiskeyBelles is going to be at Beaver Dam Area Community Theater next Saturday, February 8th. Tickets available online at bdact.org. Going to be a great show. When we come back, we're going to get to talk a little bit more about another show coming to Beaver Dam Area Community Theater. That's coming up on Hometown Today from 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Hey, it's Randy from Professional Floor Covering. You're listening to Hometown Today on the 5,000-watt flamethrower on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. We continue a chance to talk about another great show coming to Beaver Dam Area Community Theater. Joining us this hour are a couple of the folks from Time for Father coming to BDACT. We have the playwright, author, and actor Ric Ramirez joining us, as well as actor Dylan Carnine. Thanks so much for coming in this morning, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Excited for this show, and this is another. Beaver Dam Area Community Theater just had a world premiere here last week with Gingerbread Clinic, written and directed by Dan Lansness, and was a great show. Heard a lot of fantastic reviews from a lot of people who got to see the show, and not going to be the only world premiere at BDACT this year, because Time for Father is also going to be a world premiere, and this is also a locally written by you, Rick.
Yeah. Yes,
Talk a little bit. Tell us a little bit about the show.
Well, it's a show. Basically, I have been known to be a writer that writes from personal experiences. So this is, I lost my folks not quite 2 years ago. So this is kind of my therapy.
Yeah.
So a good friend of mine told me, write what you know. Well, this is what I know. So this one is about my relationship with my dad through my childhood and adulthood, and it's really a story of about healing and communicating and being able to ask the tough questions. So it's really a story of healing and forgiving and being able to move on and really being able to enjoy and appreciate all of the things that make up who we are now as adults. Okay. So that's really what this story is for me.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit? We're going to talk a little bit about more about the show here coming up. This is this your first venture into writing?
It is not. 6 years ago, I actually wrote a play called One Day, and that one was about basically about my mother's story about losing her mom, my grandma. I never got to meet my grandparents, either one of them. In a way, well, my dad's side, I did get to meet him when I was 5 years old, but I have no memory of them at all.
Wow.
I remember being at a piñata party in Mexico. That's all I remember, is this thing getting hit in the air. I have no other memory of that. So I technically didn't get to meet my grandparents.
The things our brains
that's
try
what
to
locked
remember,
on,
right? Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I was like, "What is a piñata? Oh, that's cool."
Yeah.
So that I remember, but I don't remember anything else. But I wrote a play 6 years ago called One Day, and it was about, again, my mom's dealing with the loss of her mom, and it was a story she had told me when I was a kid, and it just stuck with me, and I had written notes about that over the years, and Ann and Gary Torek, who represented the Columbus Redbud players, they contacted me 6 years ago and said, hey, we want to enter the One Act Play Festival, which we're going to be partaking in this year again. And I told them, no, I really don't have anything in mind to direct. And they're like, okay, well, if you come up with something, let us know. So a month went by, they called me again, and they're like, do you have anything? I'm like, I have this idea of a play that I wanted to kind of write, but I only have it in pieces. And they're like, yeah, let's see it. We love original stuff. So I put it together. Back then, I found all my notes in a shoebox that I had from college.
Wow.
And they were pieced on the back of receipts and, sticky notes. And I put it together. Back then, the play was probably about 14 minutes long. So I'm like, okay, I got to develop this. So I developed it, shared it with Ann and Gary, and they're like, we love it. We got to do it. And I'm like, really? All right. So that was my first play, and I thought, boy, we're going to take it to this festival. It's going to be judged by a panel of 3 people. People are going to see this story, and I'm like, oh, man, it's a little scary, But we went, and we did the performance, and we went to the awards ceremony that next day with no expectations whatsoever, and we advanced to the regional round. So we won WACFest that year, and Went to the regionals down in Kokomo, Indiana. I had a great time. Met a bunch of people from around the country with the same crazy interest of community theater that we all have. It's really neat to network like that. So,
talk a little bit about some of your other theater background. I know obviously you've been involved with things at the theater for a number of years. What are some of those other productions you've been a part of?
Well, I joined BDACT back in 1997.
Okay.
So, and I've kind of been involved with them ever since, because this community is one of the best theater support communities I've ever experienced. And I've performed with many around the area, but Beaver Dam is unique, and it's definitely special. So I've done a lot of productions since. I think I'm approaching somewhere in the 30, 35 productions I've been a part of, mostly acting, but I've directed some big shows. Footloose we did, Annie. Most recently, I directed Margaritaville 2 years ago, which was just amazing fun. So yeah, I've been a part of this community theater, and I just love it. And the one thing I love about it is we're able to do like things like original shows like this. That's fairly unique to a lot of community theaters, that we're able to share original works, and people support it so well. It's just such a great thing. Yeah, I could not say enough positive things about this community and this theater that we have.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible when you think about, a town of 16, 17, 18,000 people having, not only having, number one, the venue that we have here, thanks to so much support from the community, but the ability, the fact that a theater in that size community would, have a beautiful venue that we do, have as many shows as we do,
oh my goodness,
and to have multiple original shows like in the same year is almost unheard of. That's Ric Ramirez, playwright, author of Time for Father. We've also got Dylan Carnine with us. Dylan, tell us a little bit about your theater background.
So I've been doing theater for a number of years now, since I'd say I was probably in 7th grade. I got introduced to it, and ever since I've just loved it so much. And at BDACT, we have so many opportunities of great shows to either act in or help like backstage with. So last year, I was able to be a part of all 3 of the shows that were happening in the summer. So I was able to be a part of the high school one. I was able to help backstage with the middle school one, and then I was also in the main stage show Susical that year, which was so great to be able to meet many different people and continue to foster my love for theater. Yeah.
What is there anything in particular that you really enjoy most about theater?
I would say a couple things here. One of them is being able to be someone that you've never really thought of before, or you've never really met before. So in this show, I play Rick as he grows up and his relationship with his father, and I've never been able to play that sort of emotional role to have like arguments and these different happy times down to the sad times that you can see in the show. So this was really a great opportunity for me. I love that. And then the meeting of so many different people. So with our summer shows at the high school, we are at the summer shows at BDACT, sorry. We have people from all over different communities come, from Mayville, DeForest, Sun Prairie, lots of other communities, to come and be in the show. And that's so amazing to be able to meet so many people that have the same interests as me and love theater as much as I do.
That is Dylan Carnine. We also have Ric Ramirez with us here from Time for Father, coming to Beaver Dam Area Community Theater January 31st, and then moving on to the WBEV Festival, which we'll talk about a little bit later on the show as well. We'll be back with more Hometown Today after this on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, your store for floors and so much more. Also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings. We are visiting with Ric Ramirez and Dylan Carnine with Time for Father, coming to Beaver Dam Area Community Theater January 31st. And we learned a little bit about the show, and we want to talk a little bit more about the characters we're going to meet. Ric, you are not only the playwright author, but you are also acting in this show. Tell us a little bit about your character.
Well, the character is basically myself. I'm playing technically like I guess it would be a narrator. I'm going through memories, basically, and then what happens is they play out kind of behind me or beside me there. So I'm kind of playing myself in this show, which, you know, it can be a scary endeavor to undertake, to throw yourself out in front, you know, of an audience of people and say, yeah, this is kind of a portion of my history, my memory, my personal, you know, feelings and issues that I have dealt with over the years. But it's also more so for me. It's so therapeutic because I just think it's if one person in the audience can connect with what I went through. And I didn't go through like horrible things in my life. So it's not like that. But any little thing that you can experience and you can see like on a stage, if one person says, I went through that, I lived that story. And if you can take that home by saying, you know, maybe I should just communicate. Maybe somebody has to ask those first hard questions and it makes everything better. It's a success. To me, that's why I do this kind of thing. This character just kind of digging into my own past. It's not a hard thing to connect with, and yet it can be a hard thing because you don't want to over-connect with it and get, you know, let your emotions just get the best of you and just lose control of that. And I've never had a problem with that to this point because of, you know, the healing and the positives that actually happened with my experiences with my father. You know, we ended up having, you know, 20 plus years of fantastic, we were, you know, best friends, and it didn't start out that way. But so to connect with a character like, you know, what I lived through, to actually portray it in front of people, it's scary, and yet again, I think it's if it helps anybody, success.
That is Ric Ramirez. We've also got Dylan Carnine with us. And Dylan, I believe you're actually playing two characters in this show, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your characters.
So I'm playing Ric when he was a child, all the way up until he was like 20, 25, maybe, around there. And then towards the end, there'll be sort of a full circle moment where I'll be playing Ric's son.
Okay.
And how that story wraps up with tying it back to what you've seen previously throughout the show.
And I think, you know, for Ric, I think it's pretty obvious how Ric relates and connects to his character because it is, you know, he's essentially playing a version of himself. Yes. And so there's, for obvious reasons. But for you, is there anything about your characters that you connect to or can relate to at all?
So this has given me a good opportunity to look into, like I said previously, different emotions that I've never had to deal with, like all these hard times with your father. I've been fortunate enough to not have to deal with that yet.
I like how he throws the yet in there.
Yeah, that's right.
Never know. I'm covering all my bases here. But this is a really good opportunity for me to grow as an actor. And so when I was asked by Ric to do this show, I was very honored, first of all, but I was also really looking forward to digging in deeper and really seeing what I could do with this type of character.
Is is that going to give you an opportunity, playing a character that, you don't necessarily relate in your personal life to, to that father relationship? Is that kind of give you a chance to kind of explore what that's like a little bit?
Yeah. It's it'll help me, and it has helped me be able to empathize with other people about how they feel with their parents or other family members. That I can be like, oh, I know what you're talking about. I've kind of been able to see that a little bit. I'm able to help you. Yeah, it's a nice thing to be able to do that. Yeah.
Talking with Ric Ramirez and Dylan Carnine from Time for Father, coming to Beaver Dam Area Community Theater on January 31st. Ric is the playwright, author, and also playing essentially a version of himself. Dylan Carnine is here. He plays a young Richard, as well as Richard Jr. in the show. As you can check it out at BDACT.org is where you can find your tickets, and it'll also be at the WBEV Festival, which we're going to talk about coming up in our next segment here on Hometown Today from 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
It's Randy from Professional Floor Covering, bringing together friends and neighbors on Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam, who invite you to stop in and discover their picture framing department. If you've got something you want to preserve in a picture frame, McKinstry's can help. Their professional staff will help you select just the right frame and matting to enhance the beauty of your artwork. They stock a complete selection of picture frame moldings, matting, and glass choices to ensure professional framing of your needlework, family photos, wedding pictures, canvas pictures, posters, or award certificates. And the best part, you'll be amazed at their low everyday prices. Bring your frameable pieces to McKinstry's Home Furnishing, celebrating 166 years in downtown Beaver Dam. We are joined by Ric Ramirez and Dylan Carnine with Time for Father, coming to Beaver Dam Area Community Theater January 31st. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the show coming up. But we've mentioned a few times that after coming to BDACT, it's going to be moving on to the WBEV Festival. Maybe a lot of people out there not familiar. Talk a little bit about what the heck we're talking about, Rick.
Yeah, what is WBEV?
Yeah.
Well, that has its own definitions. But this one, it's the Wisconsin Association of Community Theater One-Act Play Festival. So the state of Wisconsin throws this every 2 years, where there's a competitive nature thrown into one-act competition pieces. Now, a lot of community theaters over the years you can take anything from a well-known musical, a play. I've seen people do Once on This Island, the musical, 2-hour musical, and they cut it down to 1 hour. So there are parameters that need to be met. For instance, you have to have a 10-minute setup time. Then you have 60 minutes to do your production. If it goes 2 seconds over, if it's 60 minutes, 1 second, you're disqualified.
Okay.
So you got to have it within that time limit. And then you have 10 minutes to take down your set and put it into a 10 by 10 foot square box that's taped out.
Okay.
So those are the requirements to partake in the festival competition portion of it. And then you have 3 judges that will critique your work, the overall production, the production value, the sets, scenery, all of that stuff they take into account, your costumes, everything they can think of, which can be kind of intimidating in a way if you let that, but I don't. That's not the reason I do these necessarily. But
So how do you go about taking a show like Time for Father and making it fit those parameters and figuring out how that's going to work for this festival?
Well, for me, doing an original work, it was probably a lot easier
Sure.
than taking, like, say, a big musical like Footloose and saying, I'm going to cut this down to 1 hour and tell that entire story. Yeah. Well, that would be difficult for me. I've never done that, and I've seen other theaters do it, and I'm amazed at how they do it. But this one, I was able to set the parameters at, can I read this in my head with actors in mind and say, can we get to 55 minutes or less just to have a little comfort zone? You can do a 30-minute play if you want to. It doesn't matter, just as long as you don't breach that 60-minute threshold. You do that, you're disqualified. So it was a little easier, I think, creating a show to keep within those time frames.
Do you know about how many shows start out at the festival?
Like who enter? How many enter?
Yeah.
Like this year, right now, I believe the number is at 5 so far. Years before, Beaver Dam has competed in this one-act play festival for quite a few years. In fact, I have a little history of it.
Yeah.
1987 was, I think, their first entry, and they won WACFest to go on to the regional level for their production of Waiting for Lefty. I know some of the performers that were in that, and they really enjoyed that. And then back in 2009, myself, James Steffen, and Joe Lord competed, and we did the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged.
Oh, okay.
And we won. We went on to regionals in Indiana, down by Notre Dame. What is that? South Bend,
Yeah,
Indiana.
yeah.
So, and you can have a lot of success. I was just saying 2 years ago, I wrote a comedy called For the Love of Camping. And again, it was a show that I wrote with no expectation because I played a spider. Amy Hopp played a raccoon. I mean, you're not going to take anything like that seriously. Well, we ended up winning, moving on to regionals, and then we ended up being the national alternate. If the other 2 shows that went on to nationals didn't go, we were set to go. And I'm like, you got to be kidding. Well, who's going to take something like that seriously? And now that show, I've written into a full-length production, which has been performed now in 3 states. So very, very, you never know what can happen with partaking in these one-act play festivals.
It's a great encourager to people to tap into your creativity because you just never know what might come of it.
Absolutely.
We're talking with Ric Ramirez and Dylan Carnine with Time for Father coming to Beaver Dam Area Community Theater January 31st. And I want to talk a little bit more about the show. We kind of talked about the basics, obviously kind of loosely based on some of Ric's life experiences. We talked about your characters, but I want to talk about some of the other characters in the show. And I want to do it by asking first, and Dylan, I'll go to you first. Okay. Is there a character in the show other than your own that's your favorite or sticks out to you?
So Dan Bell, who plays Ric's dad, he does a fantastic job of trying to of portraying his father. At least I think. I've obviously never met the man, but I feel like I know who he is now because of Dan's portrayal of that character. He does such a good job of being able to be lovable and then be so stern, and that contrast between those two and how difficult that can be for young Richard. We have a couple scenes where it shows young Richard's development with his father as they go fishing, or as his dad is telling jokes. But then we also have some more deeper scenes where the young Richard and the father get into an argument, and that changes everything. So it's really amazing what he puts into the character to show the different sides of Ric's dad here.
Yeah, and Dan, a very talented local actor, and he's done television and film as well, and so lucky to have another great talent like that. Ric, how about you? Is there a character other than your own that kind of sticks out to you, or has kind of been your favorite?
Man, I'm going to go through the cast who we have.
Yeah.
We have Amy Hopp, one of my favorite performers. She's playing a bartender who was a real person. Where my father lived in Ripon, Wisconsin. He lived at a place where he would hang out at this bar every now and then. That was basically his apartment complex. And she nails this character to a T. So I love that. Brian Fraser is playing Richard's brother. He does such a great job. He played Horton in last year's
Seussical, yes.
So he's kind of returning to this area, and he's such a talented actor. And then, of course, Dan Bell and Dylan here. James Steffen. I've done many shows with James over the years, and he always sticks out as just being such an easy-go character. He develops anything you want. He's willing to try stuff. But to me, one of the characters that steps out is Carla Webeking. She plays the mom in this. So to see how she's kind of connected with, and I've kind of given her a little bit of input of to how like my mom actually dealt with things, and she's connected with this character so well that when you watch it, I kind of get drawn back in and just say, yeah, that's it. You nailed it, Carla. I mean that's just it. She brings a lot of experience and she really puts a lot of herself into this, and she's also our director. I've taken my hands off and I've let her direct the show, and as a writer, that's kind of scary too sometimes, but it's also just so rewarding seeing somebody else kind of take apart your show and create it.
Yeah. You talked about your cast. Talk a little bit about how you go about the casting process and how have rehearsals been going with the cast?
Well, now generally for the Whack Fest festivals, you'd like to have auditions. But right now, as busy as our community theater is, and Dylan's going to go over some of this stuff coming up, we've had, with this show in January alone, we have had 3 productions in production at the same time. I was in Gingerbread Clinic, as well as Amy Hopp, and she was in this one with me as well. She's in Time for Father. And then James Steffen is in this one, and he's also in the upcoming one, I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change. So we've had, all of our actors were all in 3 productions at one time or another here. So some of these characters I reached out to because I'm familiar with them. I knew that what they were going to bring to the table. I had seen Dylan perform in Les Miserables this past year, and I thought, man, we got to see if we can get this kid to say yes and try this. It's a dramatic thing, but can he tackle it? And he's taken it on so well. Definitely created his. You don't see kids very easily connecting with dramatic pieces, but he's been able to connect, and working with Dan Bell, man. He doesn't let you fail either.
Yeah, I know you were telling me off the air before that there's some scenes a scene where he's really able to emotionally connect, unlike a lot of maybe people his age. I will know we've got just a few minutes left with you, but I know there's some other upcoming events as well we want to talk about, and then we'll circle back around and wrap up our conversation about Time for Father. But tell us about some of these upcoming events that are going to be going on.
Yeah, so our BDACT annual meeting will be on Sunday, February 2nd at 2 p.m. Cobble Me This auditions on Monday, February 3rd, through Wednesday, February 5th. The WhiskeyBelles Fire and Ice concert on Saturday, February 8th. I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change, which also has James Steffen, who we just talked about, will be February 14th through the 23rd. And then we have so many other things going on at our BDACT.
Yeah, there is. There is so many things happening at Beaver Dam Area Community Theater for sure, and I'm looking forward to so many of those. I know, kind of especially excited for all of them, but kind of especially excited for I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change.
Absolutely.
My pal Christina is stepping into the director role for that.
Yes.
So really
love seeing her step into that role.
Yeah, really excited for her in that show, and I think that's going to be the perfect, and we're going to have them in very, very soon to talk about that show. But I think it's the perfect show for her to direct too. So it's just so many great things, and of course you can always check out all those things and more at bdact.org. It's really been fun in my time, I know, and Rick, you can probably relate. To just see just how much this community theater has grown.
Oh, my
how much
goodness.
How much is happening now compared to maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's been incredible. I remember performing at the old Spring Street location, at the old church that we renovated. We had 3 shows a year, and it was amazing. And I remember back then having the problem of, oh boy, we only have 2 months to rehearse for this, and now we have so many things. We're looking at 20 plus productions or music offerings or things of that nature just in this location now, and a lot of it is kind of piggybacking off each other. But it's such a great problem to have, to give this incredible Beaver Dam community the options that we have.
Yeah, you
can come and see pretty much anything at our BDACT building. So
it's pretty incredible to think about, if you think about it this way, that there's just so many events now at BDACT that there is multiple series of things within a year, right? We were talking about the Fire and Ice concert series, and I know there's been we've got multiple world premieres of shows, and so it's pretty incredible. And obviously, this doesn't happen without a lot of support from the community.
Without a doubt.
I know we wanted to talk a little bit about the types of support that is continued to be needed. If you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So to be able to fund our trip to WACT Fest, we have the show on on January 31st, which is this Friday coming up here, and to be able, and that those costs are going to help us to be able to fund the trip to go to the WACT Festival. If you're not able to come, we do have a fundraiser, the Standing Ovations for Donations, at the BDACT.org website, which would help us out immensely in being able to fund the show and help us be able to move on with the WACT Festival.
Absolutely. And it just, as you're saying that, it's really dawning on me like, oh, yeah, January 31st. That's this Friday. That's like 2 days away here.
Yes.
I'm not ready to accept that January is almost over already.
No, we aren't yet.
Although as cold as it's been up until this week, maybe it's a good thing that January's coming to an end.
Right.
Got just a minute left here, but want to give you guys kind of the last word as to why folks should consider coming out this Friday night to Beaver Dam Area Community Theater and check out Time for Father. Dylan, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so if any of these things we've talked about today on the air here have like hit a nerve with you or struck something, come see our show, and maybe this show will be able to help you work through some of these things that Rick has gone through in his life, and it's really great.
All right, and Ric Ramirez, playwright, author, actor, your final thoughts on Time for Father and why folks should come out this Friday night, check it out.
Well, I again, like he said, I love to write comedy. I really do. But I also like to, I always say I am a writer in training. So I like to push myself and try new things, like this drama. This is more of a dramatic event. So, if anybody can't connect, and I've been told now multiple times with people that have come see our performances, like that's me. That's my story with my dad or whatever. And they're like, this is so fantastic that you put this out. And I'm like, well, that's great. Then come out and see it, support us, help us to represent Beaver Dam and our community at the ACT Festival. And yeah, that's about all I can say.
Again, Time for Father coming to Beaver Dam Area Community Theater this Friday night, January 31st. Tickets available at BDACT.org or available at the door as well on Friday night, so come check it out. And Rick, I know, when we had our guests on last hour from the Fire Nights Concert Series, they were talking about some of the specialty drinks. Doing any specialty drinks? Do we finally get a Rick-tini? I think we need a Rick-tini.
Oh, Rick-tini. Interesting.
Yeah, I think we need a Rick-tini, don't we?
If we can make White Russians, that's my favorite drink. We'll see.
Figure it out.
We
All right.
We might have to surprise people. We might keep the bar open a little bit longer.
There you go. Exactly. That is Ric Ramirez and Dylan Carnine, both with Time for Father, coming to Beaver Dam Area Community Theater this Friday night. Guys, thanks so much for being here today, and good luck on Friday night, and good luck at the WACT Festival.
Right, thank you very much.
Looking forward to hearing an update from you after the festival. That's going to do it for Hometown Today here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today, presented by Professional Floor Covering, your store for floors and so much more. If it's finally time to upgrade that dingy old bathroom with a new shower or tub, Professional Floor Covering is the place to go. Their team will help you design a shower that you can just relax and unwind and kind of make your sanctuary. There's a lot of choices: color, material, size, arrangement, and their team will help you along every step of the design process. They can even help you put in glass enclosures if you want to maybe make your bathroom feel a little larger, or if you want to do a tub to shower conversion. Makes a great improvement of quality of life for folks that are having trouble lifting their legs over the standard bathtub. All of that they can help you with. They'll come out, they'll do free measurements, get you a free quote, and have your project done just right. Professional Floor Covering, 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam, or online at PROFLR.com. We'll see you tomorrow here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.